Hey there. So I wanted to tell you about this rule. Now, if you know me, you know I don't care for rules. I like to break rules, but this rule is a really good one and I followed it and I wanted to share it with you. It's actually called the rule of thirds, and I'm going to read to you what Mr. Google says it is. The rule of thirds is an essential photography technique. It can be applied to any subject to improve the composition and balance of your images. However, it will produce a pleasing photo more often than not and is an excellent starting point for any composition. So what happened was my husband and I, and he's right here, thank you Tristan for being Mr. Photographer. We hired a photographer to do a photo shoot for us because we're about to launch a program that's going to help people get clients with video. So we wanted some photos of us with a selfie stick, photos of us taking pictures, photos where people can see me filming Tristan for our back healing products. But from this rule of thirds, we had a really good insight because normally, the typical photo, people think headshot and they just put themselves right smack dab in the middle. And that works for a lot of things, but not for everything. And that's really where this rule of third comes into play. So let me show you a photo where it's divided into thirds. Right, so you can see the main subject. Maybe that's like a little dog. Is that what that looks like to you? Woof, 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 woof. Is just taking up approximately a third of the photo. And that, besides making it interesting, how can we use that in our business? Well, let's say that you were making banners, ads, and opt-in pages, right? So you have more of a landscape. And this isn't science, and this was not measured accurately. This is just theory, okay? So keep it loose. If you were using this for an opt-in page, maybe you would take the photo ahead of time knowing I need some blank space over to the side, so I'm just gonna be over here and I might even look that way. So you plan it so that you have photos for what you need. Or maybe you're gonna use it for a Facebook banner, right? And so the Facebook banners are long and skinny. You're gonna make sure that there's plenty of room to put whatever else you need. Same thing for an ad. Now, what if you were doing a Facebook post, something that's more square, an Instagram post, or a meme? A meme's like a little quote, and I'm gonna show you some examples of that in a minute. Well, yes, you can put yourself smack dab in the middle, and then you could still write a quote all over your face if you blurt it out, but it's gonna look better if you, well, let me just show you some examples of what I've recently done. So, I gotta go to my favorites.
Look who's over here.
Okay, so here's one that I just posted, and actually people really like this. I was standing close to a wall. Can you see that in the camera okay? And then I had plenty of space to write whatever I wanted to make a meme. Now I could also use that picture down the side of a sales page. Could be used for an opt-in page. The only reason I wouldn't is because I'm facing away from the writing, and normally, so I would probably flip myself to face the writing. Okay, so I'll show you another example. Now this one was just straight on. So this is the rule of 100%. Just take up the whole thing and don't write on yourself, right? That just makes for a really good headshot. Maybe use that as a post, and then you write something, but you wouldn't really put writing on this. Now I did, on that little clicker thing, I did put writing on that, so in a way, I did write on it because I was filming our Happy Healthy Back program and I wanted people to know what I was filming. So here's another really good example of that rule of thirds. I was doing the Chinese splits, as you do, and I just made sure there was enough concrete sidewalk underneath me that I could write on it.
You added that, right?
I did have to add it. You told them. So when you're just taking pictures, even if you're taking them of yourself, I'm all about just like take a bunch, take a dozen if you have somebody taking them, and look at the camera and be in the center and look at the camera and have some space to the left, have some space to the right, or if you're outdoors, put a lot of nature next to you, and you will only be to the side, and then you just have them in your camera roll, so it's like, oh wow, I really want to share that quote. Oh, I have the perfect picture, and I can just write to the side of it. Okay, so that's the rule of thirds, the one and only rule you need to ever follow.